Hello everyone, welcome to our S.I.R channel. So in the previous class we have discussed the 50 questions from the PGT previous year question. So let's start from the question number 51. Ralph Waldo Emerson was part of a philosophical movement called as Transcendentalism. Option number C is correct, Transcendentalism. He was a part of the philosophical movement Transcendentalism. Who is the author of the novel Moby Dick? Option number B is correct. Herman Melville was the author of the novel Moby Dick. Then, which among the following is an elegy written by which man on the death of Abraham Lincoln? Option number B is correct. Oh Captain, my Captain. This was an elegy which was written by Whitman on the death of Abraham Lincoln. Option number B is correct. Then The Raven is a poem written by option number Edgar Allan Poe. Option number B is correct. Edgar Allan Poe was the writer or the poet of The Raven. Who said that the novel should hold up a mirror to life? Henry James. Henry James told that the novel should hold up a mirror to life. Option number D is correct. The Cantos has been a modernist epic. Who is author of the volume? Ezra Pound. Ezra Pound was the author of the volume. Who is the author of the non-fiction Playing in the Dark, Whiteness and the Literary Imagination? Toni Morrison. Option number A is correct. Toni Morrison of the non-fiction Playing in the Dark, Whiteness and the Literary Imagination. Next question. In the plays of which American dramatist human frustration is mixed with sex and violence under an atmosphere of romantic gentility? In Tennessee Williams. Option number C is correct. Gravity's Rainbow is a work by Thomas Pynchon. Option number C is correct. The Black Pride movement of 1910 to 1930 is associated with the history of the civil rights and Black Power movement. Okay, it's a Black Renaissance, Black Power movement. The plague as a text almost mirrors the present pandemic. Who is the author of the work? The author of the work is Albert Camus in 1947. In which novel did Fyodor Dostoevsky deal with the philosophical theme of alienation? Option number A is correct. Crime and Punishment. Bertolt Brecht is known for a type of theatre known as epic theatre. Bertolt Brecht is known for a type of theatre known as epic theatre. Option number D is correct. Henrik Ibsen is known as the father of realism in theatre. Option number C is correct. Next question. To which Latin American country Nobel Prize winner and poet-politician Pablo Neruda belongs to? He was from Parral, Chile. Option number C is correct. I would be quite satisfied if my novels teach my readers that their past with all its imperfections was not a long night of savagery from which the first Europeans acting on God's behalf delivered theme. Which Nigerian author made this statement? Chinua Achebe. Option number C is correct. Which novel of J.M. Coetzee deals with post-apartheid ambience in South Africa? Option number B is correct. Disgrace. It was published in 1999 and it won the Booker Prize. The writer was also awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature 4 years after its publication. Okay. This was a novel from Disgrace and it was published in 1999 and the book also won the Booker Prize and the writer was also awarded the Nobel Prize after its publication, 4 years of publication. What is the last work of V.S. Naipauli in India? Okay, this answer is like somehow confused. In the next class, we will discuss about this question. Next, switch to the next question. Who is the author of the novel July's People? The author was Nadine Gordimer. He demonstrates with breathtaking clarity the tensions and complex interdependencies between whites and blacks in South Africa. Okay, he was the author of the novel July's People, and the author was Nadine Gordimer. He demonstrates with breathtaking clarity the tensions and complex interdependencies between white people and black people in South Africa. Who used the expression chuntification of English to imply transformation of the English language to develop a tangy and flavorsome taste in the narrative? Option number C is correct. Salman Rushdie in his novel Midnight Children in 1981. In his novel Midnight Children, and the option number C is correct. The Namesake is a novel by Jhumpa Lahiri. Option number D is correct. Which literary award did Kiran Desai's The Inheritance of Lost win? The Man Booker Prize in 2006. Kiran Desai won the Man Booker Prize in 2006 and the National Book Critics Circle Fiction Award. Also for this book, Kiran Desai won the National Book Critics Circle Fiction Award. And the Man Booker Prize was won in 2006. So option number B is correct. Then Pratibha Ray's novel Jagyasini is a re-edition of an Indian epic from the viewpoint of its female protagonist. Name the epic. Protagonist kiye thile? Na Draupadi. Draupadi was the protagonist in Yagyasini book, and Draupadi is from the huge epic from the Mahabharata. So option number C is correct. Which one of the following works of Amitav Ghosh is a medical thriller? Medical thriller koda thila Amitav Ghosh karo na The Calcutta Chromosome. Option number B is correct. The novel set in Newark and Calcutta. Novel ta kodi set heitla Newark au Calcutta re. Option number B is correct. It was called as a medical thriller. Who is the author of the work Such a Long Journey? Rohinton Mistry. Option number C is correct. Rohinton Mistry was the author of the work Such a Long Journey. Which novel of Sobha De describes Mumbai's high society? Option number C is correct. Socialite Evenings. Socialite Evenings was a work of Sobha De in which she has described the high class society of Mumbai. Murder in the Orient Express is a crime thriller, and it was written by Agatha Christie. It was also called as detective fiction. Murder in the Orient Express was also called as detective fiction, and it was from the detective fiction book. Which writer's novel has been adapted into the film Three Idiots? Option number D is correct. Chetan Bhagat. Okay. Three Idiots ra actual Chetan Bhagat kara book novel jota 5 point someone सेटार ही फिल्म बनी जोटा कि आम थ्री इडियट जो आमिर खान मेन रोल निभे. And the question number 79, That Long Silence is a work written by Shashi Deshpande. Shashi Deshpande ka gote famous book seta hochi That Long Silence. Shashi Deshpande is an Indian writer, Indian English writer. One of Amish Tripathi's works outside the epics and myths is about a historical figure. What is the name of the work? The name of the work was Scion of Ikshavaku. Option number B is correct. It is also named as Ram Scion of Ikshavaku. Okay, its pronunciation may be different. I am not actually sure about this option. Option number B is correct. How to pronounce? Okay, I am not sure about the pronunciation, but option B is correct. 80 number. 81. Considering poetic art superior to history, Aristotle says, while history deals with the particular and particular and contingent, poetry deals with universal beings being bound by the logic of necessity and probability. Hence, poetry is more dash than history. Poetry is more philosophical than history. Option number B is correct. For which edition of the Lyrical Ballads, a collection of poems by Wordsworth and Coleridge, the preface to the Lyrical Ballad is originally written in second edition, which is published in 1800. Option number B is correct, and it was published in 1800. In which essay of Matthew Arnold says mankind will discover that we have to turn to poetry to interpret life for us, to console us, to sustain us. The option is the study of poetry. Option D is correct. The study of poetry. From whose 1941 work did New Criticism derive its name? John Crowe Ranson. Option number D is correct. Who is the author of the essay Ideology and Ideological State Apparatus? Philosopher Louis Althusser. Option number A is correct. Next question. Who did advance the idea of death of the author? Roland Barthes. Option number C is correct. In question 1886, question number 86 answer is option number C, Roland Barthes. Who did formulate the term difference to characterize the way meaning is created? Jacques Derrida. Option number B is correct. One is not born but rather becomes a woman. The feminist critic who did make this famous statement? Simone de Beauvoir. Option number B is correct. In Second Sex, in her book Second Sex. Homike Bhabha writes in the preface to one of his works, nations like narratives lose their origins in the myths of time and only fully encounter their horizons in the mind's eye. What is the name of the work? Option number B, Nation and Narration. In his book Nation and Narration. Who is the author of the work Silent Spring? Rachel Carson. Option number C is correct. Who is the author of the work Silent Spring? The author was Rachel Carson. So, एठी हमर रहीगला सबू लिटरेचर क्वेश्चंस. बाकी 91 to 100 जाए सबू ग्रामर क्वेश्चंस अच्छी ताको हमें पर डिस्कशन करबा. जब हमें ग्रामर क्लासेस नबा सेते बळे ग्रामर डिस्कशन करबा. तो एगुडा हमर थिला लिटरेचर ऊपर बहुत ही इंपोर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस. ताको हमें मु आको कहि देली ऑप्शंस गुडा का तापरे यार अलग सब्जेक्टिव क्लास भी करबी. तो मु पुणी थरे आपण मानन कहि रखुची कि हमर पेड बैच आरंभ होउची जोटा कि आमे जो थरे आमे क्लासेस दबू, वीडियो क्लासेस दबू, ता सहित आमे आपन को पीडीएफ्स वगैरह भी प्रोवाइड करिबू, ता सहित मटेरियल्स भी सेंड हबा आपन को ग्रुप रे. तो जदि जहाँ को जॉइन कर पेड बैच तो आमको ये व्हाट्सएप नंबरटा ये स्क्रीनशॉट नहीं जातु. ये व्हाट्सएप नंबर SIR ओडिया चैनल को कांटेक्ट करेंगे आपण मैंने इजी पीजीटी इंग्लिश कोर्स जॉइन करेंगे. थैंक यू सो मच.